Social media has this tendency to make you feel like you're behind financially. Financial freedom and stability can feel far out of reach because we're comparing ourselves to influencers and business owners across the entire world. But 50 years ago, our only comparison point was people in your circle or from the same hometown. And that leads people who are actually doing well financially to feel like they're falling behind.
That's true. Because if I'm not investing thousands a month, running a business, or having multiple streams of income, I feel like I'm falling behind the lifestyle I see on social media.
But that doesn't mean you're not doing well financially. In fact, the biggest sign you're doing well financially is something that most people completely overlook. If you want to stay on top of your finances and get new tips every week, then be sure to subscribe to the channel. And that sign is you consistently spend less than you earn. Not once, not occasionally, but as a habit. And I know that sounds obvious, but the truth is most people don't do this consistently. Not because they don't earn enough, but because their lifestyle grows with their income. But if you are, you've already solved the hardest part of personal finance. You created that gap, and that gap gives you the ability to invest consistently, build your emergency fund, and stops you going into debt when something goes wrong. And it gives you flexibility and options that most people never get, like walking away from a job you don't enjoy, or handling unexpected costs without stress.
So what you're saying, even if I don't feel wealthy now, if I've got that gap, I'm on the right track.
Not just on the right track, you're ahead of most people. Because everything else you see online only works if this foundation is already in place. Now, here's the part that people don't talk about. Earning more money doesn't always fix this problem, because as income goes up, lifestyle usually goes up with it. Think about it. You get a pay rise, you upgrade your car, move to a better place, spend a bit more on weekends and holidays. And before you know it, you're earning more than ever. But that gap we talked about earlier, for most people, never actually grows. Let's take two people, for example. Person A earns $40,000 a year, lives in a nice neighborhood outside of the city, owns a middle of the range car, and after all of his bills and expenses is able to save about £300 a month. Whereas person B earns £70,000 a year, lives in the city, owns a brand new car, and after all of his bills and expenses saves nothing. So who's actually doing better financially? Most people, purely based on appearances, would assume person B is doing better, because on the outside, he has the nicer place in the city with the flashy car and lifestyle. But in reality, person A is building wealth, while person B is stuck. And this is the trap so many people fall for, which is that they tie their success and wealth completely to their income and their possessions. Because from the side, it looks like you're progressing, but financially, if that gap isn't increasing, you're standing still. This is why it might feel like you're not doing as well as you are, because the kind of progress you're currently going through is invisible. There's no big moment, no instant reward, no one congratulating you for spending less than you earn. But financially, this is where everything starts. So instead of asking, why am I not further ahead? Start asking, have I built the habit that actually creates wealth? Because if the answer is yes, you are not behind. You're just earlier in the process than you expected. Now, this doesn't mean you should never enjoy your money, and it doesn't mean cutting back on absolutely everything. What it means is simple. Your lifestyle shouldn't consume your future. Consistent long-term action is the absolute key driver behind all wealth. So, if you've been feeling like you're behind financially, take a step back for a moment. Because if you've built the habit of spending less than you earn on a consistent basis, you've already done the part that most people struggle with. And you're likely way further ahead than you actually think you are. If this video has helped, then be sure to keep an eye for our other content where we talk about how to take that gap in your finances and create wealth over the long term. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.